எல்லாருக்கும் வணக்கம். ஆனந்த் டாக்ஸோட ஃபஸ்ட்டு பாட்காஸ்ட் இது பாதி இங்கிலீஷ் பாதி தமிழில் பேசலான்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். மணி பேஜில் நான் எப்போதும் ரொம்ப ஃபார்மலாக வண்டி முடிஞ்ச மட்டும் மந்தி ஃபைனான்ஸையும் ஸ்டாக் மார்க்கெட்டும் பாண்ட் மார்க்கெட் பற்றி தான் பேசுகிறேன். பட் என்னோடய இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ஃபார் ரீச்சிங் அண்ட் அதர் சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்லேயும் உண்டு. ஸோ மற்ற சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ் பற்றியும் எக்கனாமிக்ஸ் பற்றியும் ஜென்ரலாக புக்ஸு நான் படிக்கிற புக்ஸு இதை பற்றியும் பேசுகிறத பற்றி என் தம்பியோட பேசலான்னு நினச்சேன். ஸோ என் தம்பி கேள்வி கேட்பான், நான் பதில் சொல்லுவேன். பாதி இங்கிலீஷ் பாதி தமிழில் இருக்கும். அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்ப்போம் எப்படி போகிறதுன்னு.
ஸோ என்ன ஆனந்த், நீங்கள் என்ன பேசலாம்?
நேற்று நான் ரொம்ப நாள் கழித்து இந்த பிக்சாரை பற்றி ஒரு புக்கு படித்தேன். ஆக்சுவலி பிக்சார் ஒன் ஆஃப் ஜாப்ஸ் கம்பேக் வெஹிக்கிள். நிறைய பேருக்கு எனக்கு என்ன ஜாப்ஸ் ஒரு 10 வருஷம் ஆப்பில் விட்டு வெளில சுற்றினு இருந்தான். நெக்ஸ்ட்டுன்னு ஒரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பித்தான், விச் வாஸ் சப்போஸ் டு மேக் சம் மெயின் ஃப்ரேம்ஸ். இட் டிடன்ட் ஒர்க் அவுட். ஸோ யூ ஹேட் டு சஸ்பெண்ட் ஹார்ட்வேர் அண்ட் வாஸ் கீப் ஒர்க்கிங் ஆன் தட் சாஃப்ட்வேர். பட் அது எங்கேயும் போகல. அதே சமயத்தில் லூக்கஸில் இந்த ஜார்ஜ் லூக்கஸோட ஒரு கம்பெனி தான் இந்த பிக்சார். பிக்சாருங்கிறது அதுலேருந்து ஸ்பின் ஆஃப் ஆன கம்பெனி. அதில் அவன் வாங்கினான், திங்கிங் இட்ஸ் கோயிங் டு டூ சம்திங் கிரேட்னு. 10 வருஷத்தில் அதால் ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியல. அண்ட் ஹி ஹேட் இன் டெஸ்பரேஷன் he got into a bad deal with Disney, in the sense that we'll make a fully computer animated movie with 10% of the margin, but Disney will fund the movie. And it took nearly about 8 or 9 years to make that movie. So 10 வருஷத்துக்கு இந்த பிக்சாருங்கிறது they had 3 divisions. One Redmi ஒரு சாஃப்ட்வேர் விற்றுனாங்க. Then they were doing small commercial ads using animated software. And third was making that movie. So yesterday's book is how suddenly one fine day he woke up and he decided that he had to make that as a comeback vehicle. So for nearly 10 years he was just writing a check to make up the difference between what was actually the cost of the company and how much revenue it made. Then in 95 he got a guy to come from one of the startups to run this company with the whole aim of taking this public. அந்த 2 வருஷத்தில் அந்த டாய் ஸ்டோரியை they finished it. Animated Toy Story was the first movie. And it became movie of the year. And அதே சமயத்தில் how he engineered a IPO for this. Netscape IPO டைமில் இது வந்தது. How he engineered it brilliantly. And on the day it listed, he became a billionaire again.
Correct.
So he went back and he went to Larry Ellison of Oracle and told him, Larry, I'm back.
Correct.
That was the thing he said. And then, of course, he made more movies. He renegotiated a bad contract with Disney.
Correct.
And finally, he sold this company to...
Apple is it?
No, he sold it to Disney. His wife is still a board member in Disney. And they became the largest shareholders of...
Outside Disney family?
No. Disney family is not the largest shareholder. He is the largest shareholder. His family became the largest shareholder of Disney. All out of a women fancy, he just bought a company from and did nothing with it for 10 years. And then just revved it up. And this gave him the comeback vehicle for Steve Jobs after 10 years. At one point, when he took Apple public, he had 11% of Apple. He sold everything and kept only one stock of Apple. And when these 2 movies have became hit, 2 success, I'm a Bug nur padamu idu hit anonna. Bug's Life became a hit. Then Guy Amilo bought back Next and bought back.
But when did he join back to Apple? When did they call back?
97, 98. By then this was a hit. By then he was a billionaire. And so he made his terms very clear. and he turned around Apple. But the real success came from this Pixar,
Correct.
and which he did nothing for 10 years.
But on the learning, Pixar and the learning, உள்ள போயிட்டு இந்த iPhone, iPod, all that.
But actually, this guy Lawrence Leviங்கிறவன் தான் அந்த புக்கு எழுதியிருக்கான். What he says is he really didn't spend much time except a day or two. But he was very bullheaded about going for an IPO, and he got the timing right. In fact, that Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs turned down the
But on sheer genius, I think
IPO.
he was able to see where the future is going.
அதான் உன்னோட genius.
He was able to forecast, see where the.
Then he did the iPod, the video iPod.
But the recent time they retired the iPod. Apple just after 21 years they said they don't want to manufacture
iPods. Then he made the iPhones and the iPads.
Correct.
But and today they have that iStore is a big thing. But I don't think they have made a big breakthrough after Jobs. They have not made a breakthrough.
Finding it very hard.
And the AirPod is the.
In the technology, இருந்ததெல்லாம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் polish பண்ணி.
Then the AirPod is a big hit.
But that was not theirs actually. அது வந்து Beats and the Dr. Dre இருந்தான். அந்த Dr. Dre வந்து Beats company, headphones company, Jobs முன்னாடியே வாங்கினான்னு நினைக்கிறேன். Not sure when they bought it. அவன் வாங்கிட்டு அந்த கம்பெனியோட headphone technology தான் they absorbed it and they made all this AirPod.
And that John Levio, IVO ஒருத்தர்தான், British designer. அவனையும் Tim Cook has pushed him out of Apple. He's become a consultant.
Correct.
The iWatch launch, they had a difference of opinion. So this has become an efficient supply chain company rather than
product innovation கிடையாது. It's not there anymore. இப்போ கூட also they push in the latest uptick in the market for them has been all on processor technology, hardware based. They're creating their own processors. Innovations purely inside the machine more than a new product.
So I don't know whether they will.
And they're very cautious now. They don't want to do virtual reality, augmented reality, so-called smart watch the so-called Apple glasses.
But even
Google's launch latest.
Another
Google Translate glass. So you wear it like glasses. Aradhu வேற பாஷையில உன்கிட்ட பேசினா அது automatically it smartly detects data and subtitles it shows.
எல்லாம் சும்மாடா. Tamil to English translation Google is not able to do it.
அதை நான் ஒத்துக்கிறேன். பட் அப்படிதான் innovation வரும். You have to take some of your money and plug into making something. You have to take some gamble.
They do take moonshot bets.
என்ன moonshot bet எடுத்துக்கான்
Apple moonshot bet எடுக்கல. Even Google is all the time taking moonshot bets.
Yes.
But that is because they have. But I think Apple should also take some moonshot bets.
Yes, they can afford to. But now he must be nervous. He's not the world's most valuable company.
I don't think that will bother him. If that's bothering him, then it's bad. But I really enjoyed this book, Lawrence Levy. And for the first time, at 6 o'clock, I started the book. By 10.
After a long time.
Uninterrupted reading by 10:30, I finished the book.
Another high, when you take a book like that, pick that up and read short
No, it's a Saturday. It's a Sunday. And I had no meetings or anything lined up. And at times I used to believe that I've lost my ability to read that kind of speed. But I just finished it and motored it in 4.5 hours. It's about 250 pages. I finished it in about 3.5 hours to 4 hours. So, but maybe I knew some of these parts of these stories before.
No. So when you find a story which is very interesting, you tend to read much faster.
This guy then became the guy whom I'm talking about. Went into Buddhist philosophy. And then he says Pixar and the third way are the same and all that. That is a bit too rich.
But on the Japan, you could really dive into.
No, not Jobs.
Even in
Lawrence Levy, he leaves this. இங்கேருந்து அவன் விட்டு ஜூனிப்பர்னு ஒரு ஆர்கனைசேஷன் அமைச்சு நான் மெடிடேஷனை புஷ் பண்ணுறேன், இந்தியன் ஃபிலாசபியை புஷ் பண்ணுறேன்னு. He is gone into one tangent. And he says one day when he finished writing the book, he realized that the Buddhist third way and Nagarjuna's third way and இதுவும் ஒன்று அப்படின்னு அவன் சொன்னான். சரி, ஏதோ சரி, but anyway, but it's a good story. And not many people will know Pixar. And Pixar's role in jobs come back.
Young kids know Pixar. என் பையன் கிட்ட nephew niece கிட்டலாம் கேட்டு Pixar. எல்லா படமும் கரெக்டாக.
I knew Pixar, but I'm saying the general public,
yes,
company and how jobs used it as a comeback vehicle. This is I wanted to discuss. So one never loses hope.
Correct.
And
but it's all about perfecting, honing the skills.
10 years he must have really honed the skills.
Because when you have a nice product, there'll always be a market for it. But
Yeah.
the problem is, India and I've always seen, especially in animation, they don't want to put the effort in making the product.
No. Our animation is nowhere near that. So he really spent 10 years in the wilderness.
Wilderness, yes.
And with no idea of what is going to take him big. And next didn't.
But he never gave up.
He never gave up. That's a
Remarkable thing about it.
That's a remarkable thing about him.
Even when he got cancer, the way he fought cancer. He tried everything he could.
He did everything he could. He tried every thing
but
he
didn't
did.
Stop working.
He did aggressive surgery.
Yes.
And the only blame you can do is he.
Transplant.
I think that's.
I don't know, man. I think he knew that
his time was up. And that Walter Isaacson biography, he wanted to get it done before he died. So that's a very good book that I read it. So there are at least 3 books I have read on this before. I read this Lawrence Levy book. Anyway, it came as a birthday gift. Actually, what I'm doing, Amp It Up, the guy who is running Snowflakes that I'm listening to, I'm almost through that book. And then I'm also reading a book called No Regrets. And on the principles படிச்சுருக்கேன். So I'm doing 3.
நீ கொடுத்த அந்த anxiety புக்கும் பண்ணியிருக்கேன்.
Anxiety வாங்கிட்டியா?
ஆடிபிள் வாங்கினேன். புக் வந்து ஹார்ட் காப்பி ஆர்டர் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அது வரதுக்கு டைம் ஆகும். ஏன்னா யூஎஸ்ல தான் இருக்கு.
Anyway, so I thought from tomorrow we'll discuss each law of 48 laws of power.
பண்ணலாமே.
Then we can each law at a time.
நீங்கள் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லா பேஸ் பண்ணால் அந்த படிச்சுட்டு ரிஃப்ரெஷ் பண்ணி வரேன்.
நாளைக்கு படிச்சுட்டு பேசணும்.
சரி. ஓகே. மனப்பாடமாக தெரியும்.
இல்லை பார்ப்போம். ஓகேடா. பை.
பை.
தேங்க்ஸ்.